Hello. Today what I want to do is share the gear I have in this pack, and it's the one I'm going to be using for hunting this season. First off, I wanted to get a orange pack. Fluorescent orange would be better, but this is what I was able to get. It's still an orange pack, and people are going to be able to see me a lot better while I'm hunting if I have this on. If I put a black pack on or something like that, it's going to be covering my fluorescent orange, and you have to have so many centimeters visible. So I was the type that as soon as I was legally allowed to hunt after school, I'd go grab the shotgun, I'd grab some shells, throw them in my pocket, I'd have my belt knife, and I'd be gone till dark. I'd done this pretty much every day of the week that I could and on the weekend. So I've been out here a lot, and then I started thinking, what if I got lost? So over the years and such, I've honed my skills, and I'm actually a survival instructor, and I teach what to do if you are lost, and that's why I put this kit together. This here is going to make a very dangerous situation, possibly deadly. This can make it an inconvenience. Knowing how to use it is key. First off, we're going to start on the outside. And what I have here is a 1 liter single-walled stainless steel water bottle that the lid comes right off. The lid can be detached, so it's all just metal. I can throw this into a fire and boil my water, make a tea, and so on. If you're going to carry a water bottle, why not carry one that's going to work for purifying your water and letting it cool, put your lid back on it, and go. Next, I have a large knife. This knife here, I've actually got it tied to here so I cannot lose it. It's also strapped through here so I cannot lose it. And I want a large knife because a large knife is very important. If I need to trim brush and branches very fast, I can do that with a large knife. A smaller 4 to 5 inch blade, it's going to be hard to cut off an inch incised limb. So having something that is large enough to do the job. This one here, like I said, 10.5 inch blade, and it can quickly delimb a tree. Also take down an arm-sized tree that I can use as a ridgepole if I had to make a natural shelter. In this first pouch here, what I have is water filter kit as well. Now this here can be very convenient. I can boil water in that container, the stainless steel container, but this here can be very convenient and very fast. So a must in a kit, and basically a luxury item. But I'll tell you, if you have to boil every drop you drink, that will get old quick. I know, I've been there. This here can make it very, very simple, and I've used one of these here for years. Next in here, I have a backup knife. This one here is a smaller knife. Not mentioning brands and such because brands are something of opinion. Use something that works for you. This one here is a full tang knife that I can use for splitting wood. I can use it for fine carving, pretty much all the small to medium tasks. But my large knife is I can split bigger wood with it and not have to worry about it failing. trim branches and cut poles. This one here, trying to trim a branch with it, inch branch, it's going to take a while. That other one can fly right through it. Something like this, great for light to medium tasks. A large knife is better in my opinion. Also, in here I'm going to show you, I carry a saw for getting my firewood and such. Very important as well. This here is a folding saw. There's many different types of saws out there that is compact, very compact, but has a huge blade so you can bring down a big tree. I've cut birch trees and oak trees down with this that were 6 to 8 inches at the butt. I probably cut a cord of wood with this very saw here. So very important if you need to get wood fast. I don't carry an axe, I don't carry a hatchet. Myself, this here is safer for me, and I don't have to worry about as many accidents with something like this. Other people, I mean, I'm very skilled with a hatchet and an axe, but I rather carry this. Other people prefer a hatchet and axe. It's up to you once again. But having something that you can take down trees for firewood, very important. This here's lightweight and compact. What else I have in here is a whole spool of mason twine. I use this a lot around camp. It's very cheap to get, but it's fairly strong as well. So I use this for lots of reasons, and it's a cheap twine that I don't mind using and cutting and such. So very handy for sure. Got that in there. I've also got a bag in here with 2 disposable lighters. I carry a ferro rod as well in my wallet, and I have a signal mirror as well. I have them in this bag just to keep them dry. I also have some fire starters. This here is your wax and waxed, and some have coconut husk and so on and so forth, coconut fiber and so on in these type of fire starters. Also, some have sawdust and, you know, just various fire starters that you can buy for starting a barbecue and so on. Can make it very easy because they can burn a long time and easy to light. So having something like this, myself, when I'm in the woods, I make a fire, I use natural materials. And I have no problem with that. But this here, I don't have to search for natural materials. I can pull this out, light it right up with a lighter, and I'm good to go. Sometimes fire is very important and you may need it fast. Now we're going to go to the next pouch. And what I have in here is lighting. This here is an area light, very cheap, but it works great. I use this around camp and such, and it works great. It's up to 900 lumens. I keep it on low. But I also, in this here, I have a headlamp and also a handheld light. These both take AA batteries. I want them to both take the same batteries, and they have no batteries in them right now. I have the batteries separate in here. That way there I don't accidentally depress the button and kill my batteries. It keeps them fresh for when I need them. Lighting, I've learned long ago, coming, you know, home right at the edge of dark and such, that lighting makes all the difference. And if you get turned around, even with a headlamp, you can get turned around pretty quick. But if you're on a trail, you can save your eyes from branches and such, and you can find your way out if need be. So, lighting is very important. Also, if you made yourself a fire and you misjudged on your firewood and needed to leave camp, you can hang one up at your camp, and then you can use the other one to walk around and gather your firewood, always keeping that light behind you in vision. That way there, you're not going to lose your camp and walk in the wrong direction, because that's possible as well. So lighting is very important, and always in my kit when I go out. Next in that pouch, I have these. These are actually tablets that can help give you that nutrition you need to keep your energy up, and also it keeps your morale up. It's recommended that you carry a day's worth of food in a pack if you are ever lost or stranded, because it can keep up morale, keep that positive attitude. Because if you become hangry, things can go, you know, it can make it a very miserable time, more than it has to be. If you can keep that positive attitude, and food is basically a morale boost, why not if you're carrying a backpack anyhow? Also, it's recommended that you keep an extra liter or quart of water that you're not drinking in your pack. That way there you have water as well. Now, you do not need food if you're out there for, say, 72 hours. But it's going to help with your energy. It's going to help, you know, with your attitude. And also, you know, those hunger pains. So, very, very important is bring, you know, at least a day's worth of food. Now, this pack also weighs right around 15 pounds. I have no problem carrying that all day, but like I said, you can put whatever you want in a pack like this, but always remember, you know, you've got to carry it, how long you're going to carry it, and if it's not too heavy and too cumbersome, people are more apt to carry it. Going to open up the big pouch. First off, I have some warm gloves. I've got some leather gloves for gathering firewood, working around the fire. And I have another toque, because sometimes I may be just wearing a orange ball cap style. So having extra clothing like this can be very, very important. And also some wool socks. This here is my rain gear. Also very important out here. As you know, this is the fall. If it started pouring rain, you can get cold quick if you're wet. So this can be a dangerous time of year. And rain gear can be very compact, as you see, and very lightweight. This here is a survival blanket. I've just got it in here in this bag. It also has some twine in it that I can make it into a shelter. This here is a 6x8 poly tarp, heavy duty poly tarp. This one here is very cheap to buy, but you can do so much with it. And 6x8, because I want to have 8 feet. I'm 6 feet tall. I want at least a foot on each end if I'm having a shelter out of this. That on my head I have a foot out to the edge of my tarp, and on my feet I have a foot out. That way there, if you have driving rain, you're more apt to stay dry. Also, I have cordage in here. I've got a heavy cordage that I can run for a ridge line and also drag a deer if I needed to. So I've got extra cordage in here besides my mason twine. So for years, I would have carried this here, and I did for many years. And then I started thinking, how can I make this by far more efficient, this pack? So what I started carrying is this right here. This here can increase your chances big time. Look at that. Look how small that is. That weighs under 2 pounds. I'm not quite sure. This is a 0 Celsius bag. That means that anything above 0 degrees, I do not need a fire. If it's pouring rain, I can be under my tarp. I could be in my sleeping bag. Anything above, you know, 0 degrees and totally fine without a fire. That can be a lifesaver. If I bust my leg and I'm not up making shelter, gathering firewood and such, I can still crawl in this and keep body heat. You know, keep my body heat, and I can throw the tarp over top me if it did rain. Just make sure that start stuffing some leaves and such, just so you don't have that conduction from the ground. You'll have to get something under you. But this here can be a lifesaver. Also, this here is just an addition. Look how small that is. This here is a waterproof bivvy. Now a bivvy is a waterproof sleeping bag, basically, that your sleeping bag fits right in. So you'd put your sleeping bag right inside the bivvy and crawl in. Now you can sleep right in a rainstorm, in a bivvy, and in your sleeping bag. So just these two things that are very, very, very compact can make a huge difference. Also, if it's below 0 Celsius, when I make a fire, I only have to have inside my shelter 0 Celsius. I don't have to have it 70 degrees in my shelter. So what does that do? It saves on firewood. You may not have an area with enough firewood to keep you going all night. Well, this here can help with that as well. A quick recap. So I've got a bivvy and sleeping bag. I've got some extra clothing, rain gear. I've got a 6x8 tarp and a emergency blanket, as well as some mason twine and other twines and cordages in these bags. I've got a way to purify water. This one here is just a water filter with a bag in it. Also, I have my stainless steel water bottle for water purification. Couple cutting tools, plus the saw, and fire starters, lighters, and a signal mirror. There's not a whole lot here, but this here can make a huge amount of difference. So just carrying something like this here, I've taken a kit just like this camping. This is a camping setup to me, and it just does so much for you. So the reason I'm doing this video is just show you the minimal amount that, you know, you can carry. It's, you know, to me it's lightweight, and why not carry it? You can throw extra stuff in here too, your calls, your an extra jacket. You still have room in here. So wanted to bring this to you. Hopefully it can help a few folks better prepare to be in the outdoors. And good luck this season, and be safe. Take care.